starters in this event are the top 4 finishers from last week's late model feature, starting inverted. Bobby Henry, last week's feature winner from Connellsville in the 11, will start 4th. Second place finisher last week, 2004 Rookie of the Year Paul Urso in the 98. Brandon Mans has already won a Top Dog Challenge this year. He starts from the outside of row 1 in the 15 car, and last week's 4th place finisher is the 2-time and defending Napa late model champion here at Motordrome, Rick Miller from Dunbar in car 25. Rick Miller out in front of last year's teammates in Indy car 15. Brandon Mans, who won a Top Dog Challenge last week, sophomore driver in car 15, spent last year as a teammate to Miller. But last week's feature winner, Bobby Henry, the man on the move. He has passed the 2004 Rookie of the Year Paul Urso and dives to the inside of Brandon Mans, taking away the 2nd position. Bobby Henry earned his first victory for the Megan Ford Stone & Company team, driving car number 11 this season, closing in on Top Dog Challenge leader Rick Miller. White flag this time, 1 lap remaining. This brand new Dash for Cash format with 4 late model drivers battling for 4 laps each week will start our racing programs promptly at 7:30. And for the first time in his career, a Top Dog Challenge checkered flag for Rick Miller. There's the green flag. Into turn number 1, last week's feature winner, Mike Bacalon, out in front. Side by side behind him, it's Brian Pickering, who is now taking over the 2nd spot by a car length from Matt Panaya. Panaya now in jeopardy of losing 3rd, and Nicola, who has to get on the binders, headed into turn number 3. Gary Scott making the outside lane work for him, challenging for a top 5 position. Brian Pickering loses the handle into turn number 1 in 2nd place. The 22 car slides to the bottom, nearly makes contact with Matt Panaya. He's able to keep the car straight, but this will bring out a yellow book caution flag for the 22 of Brian Pickering in turn 2. 1 lap completed of 8. Bacalon, Panaya, Nicola, Scott, and Civic leading them to the green flag. Last week, Mike Bacalon made a couple of dramatic moves in the early stages of the modified feature and drove on to victory as the North Versailles veteran has won in multiple divisions of competition here at Motordrome over the years. Bacalon was once a late model driver. He was a very successful pure stock and street stock racer back in the 1990s. Has found a home here in the Smale Pontiac GMC Modifieds. Right on his back bumper now, Matt Panaya in car number 32. Panaya, who's gotten stronger each and every week of competition in 2005. Closing in and making slight contact with Bacalon, headed into turn number 3. Panaya from Plumboro was 8th in the final point standings last season here at Motordrome Speedway in car 32. The leader seeing the crossed flags indicating halfway through this heat race event. 4 laps in and 4 remaining as the lead battle again will tighten up, headed into turn number 3 off the back straight. This time Bacalon maintains a few feet between his rear bumper and the front bumper of Plumboro's Matt Panaya. Very close racing down the front straight. Each week Panaya gets stronger, and now he has an opening to the low side, nearly racing on the grass out of turn number 2. Matt Panaya challenges for the lead. Mike Bacalon out in front, wheel-to-wheel racing in turn 3. Last week's feature winner outside. Inside, it's Matt Panaya, who's yet to win a heat or feature in 2005. 2 laps until he may see his very first checkered flag of the season. Rich Nicola and Gary Scott, 3rd and 4th respectively. Gary Scott, our opening night feature winner, now looking to the inside of Nicola, headed into turn 3. Leaders will see the white flag indicating 1 lap remaining. This time around, it is Matt Panaya out in front in car 32. Mike Bacalon's Froggy 98 machine led early and is still within striking distance on the final lap. Nicola and Scott look like they will be settling for 3rd and 4th, but here comes the final challenge for the lead. Bacalon very close to the rear bumper of Panaya, but for the first time in 2005, the checkered flag waves over Plumboro's Matt Panaya in car 32. Bacalon in second, Nicola third, Gary Scott fourth, and Al Civic grabbing the fifth position as we conclude heat race number 1 for the Smale Pontiac GMC Modified Division at Motordrome Speedway. Modified rookie Bob Shipp in the 04 starts to the inside. Modified veteran Matt Smith in car 3 with 2 heat race wins this season, starting from 6th. Then we see the 57 machine. That car driven by Tom Heilman, and in the 12 car, starting scratch in this field, Brad Calvert. Look at the battle for the lead on lap number 1. George P. Nicola has the defending champion all over his back bumper in turn 4, and then grabs a car length advantage headed into turn 1. George P. Nicola was our guest on Motordrome Live, the pre-race radio show this afternoon. Nicola thanking his family for getting him involved in racing here at the Motordrome Speedway, as we just saw Rich Nicola in the 5 car getting a top 5 finish in the first heat race. Harry Opfer pushes way up the speedway in front of Bo Glemba. Opfer in the 01 working lap number 2 holds on to 3rd position, but Bo Glemba in the 99 and Matt Smith in the 3 are going to come knocking if Opfer continues to have those handling problems we saw from him in turn 4. Opfer in the 01 again pushes high up the speedway, opening the door for Glemba in the 99. Side by side, the battle for 3rd into turn number 1. They go single file once again. Opfer very strong on the straightaways, but with a serious push condition in turns 3 and 4. Bo Glemba in the 99, challenging on the back bumper of the 01 car. This time, Opfer holds the lower line just a bit better. Glemba will now challenge him to the outside. Working lap number 4, halfway through the second heat race. Battle for 3rd is side by side. Harry Opfer to the inside. Bo Glemba to the outside, and Matt Smith reeling in both of them. Smith in the nuclear banana number 3 car makes light contact with Opfer. Now everybody drifts up the banking. Matt Smith holds the low line and takes away 3rd spot. On lap number 5, we see the lead battle intensifying as Matt Smith is pulling away from 3rd. It is defending champion Adam Kostelnik to the outside of George P. Nicola. They are side by side in turns 3 and 4. Kostelnik in the Viglione Racing number 60 car, your current points leader. George P. Nicola in the 97 car, 3rd in the points. Ever so close racing on lap number 6 down the back straight. George P. Nicola still your leader in the 97. Driver from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, former street stock champion here at the Speedway. He and Kostelnik, both many-time feature winners last season, and there's the white flag. Matt Smith gaining on this lead duo from 3rd, but time will be running out as they move past the 57 machine. Lapped car, Tom Heilman out of the way of the leaders, and now Kostelnik tries the low side, had to get on the binders to avoid making heavy contact, and the checkered flag will wave for George P. Nicola in car 97. Coming home in 2nd, it is Adam Kostelnik, 3rd to Matt Smith, 4th Harry Opfer, and Bo Glemba completing the top 5.
Oh boy, I think we're about to hear some phones ringing.
No doubt, Dale. This is a radiator for a 1999 Chevrolet C2500 pickup. Item number PFR 192547.
This is a real thing of beauty, folks.
Amazing craftsmanship, Dale. And that thing holds a lot of coolant.
Okay, nobody panic. Everything's cool.
Yep, that's a Napa radiator. I'm sure it's fine.
Gary Wiltrout, the former division champion from Somerset, in car number 60, outside Brandon Manns in the 15. Then it's last week's feature winner Bobby Henry in the 11, starting 3rd. Division rookie Chris Kossel from Connellsville in the 38, starting 4th. Mike Adams is the 43 car, starting from the 5th spot. And it's West Virginia driver John Messenger in the 51, starting 6th. 10 laps the distance. These heat races will help to determine the starting lineup for Napa Auto Parts 50-lap feature number 1. As the best battle on the track is for 4th, Mike Adams and rookie Chris Kossel side by side. John Messenger trying to join that battle. Up front, Gary Wiltrout leads lap number 1 over Bobby Henry. Teammate drivers this season at Motordrome Speedway. Both many times feature winners here at the half mile, and teammates for the season, with Henry picking up his first win last week. Brandon Manns in 3rd, and Mike Adams in the 43 car. The Elizabeth, Pennsylvania driver makes a challenge for 3rd to the inside of the sophomore. Brandon Manns, a winning truck competitor last season, moving his entire team up to the late models. And Mike Adams, the car number 43 from Elizabeth, will take away the third spot. He brings John Messenger right with him into fourth. Brandon Manns having difficulty in the 15 car, falling back in this field after he won last week's Top Dog Challenge Dash. Adams in third, Messenger fourth, rookie Chris Kossel now trying to challenge and take away, and he does take away the fifth spot. Chris Kossel in the 38 car, driving the car that Brandon Manns used as a rookie last season, taking away the fifth position. Meanwhile, up front, teammates battling for the lead, Gary Wiltrout and Bobby Henry. Side by side, the battle for third intensifies. John Messenger in the 51 car started scratch on this field. He's passed Brandon Manns, Chris Kossel, and now Mike Adams to take over third. Messenger from Morgantown, West Virginia, the man on the move in the 51 car. He is around Adams and quickly distances himself from the 43 car by about 4 car lengths. Working lap number 7 of 10 in this first Napa Auto Parts late model heat race. Brandon Manns off the pace, but the lead battle, with only 2 to go, seems to be shaping up between the teammates. Former division champion Gary Wiltrout in the Lynn Flooring Benz Motorsports number 60 car. Bobby Henry in the ride that Wiltrout drove to victory here last season. Henry in the 11, last week's feature winner, currently second on the speedway as the white flag is waving. Contact between teammates will never ever happen, but racing stories throughout the ages have proven differently. As Brandon Manns retires from the event in the 15 car, we see the checkered flag waving for Gary Wiltrout in car number 60. Heat race winner over Bobby Henry in second. John Messenger on the move to third. Mike Adams will finish fourth, and rookie Chris Kossel grabs the fifth position. Mark Poole back in action with us in the Howard Concrete Pumping number 96. And how about a first-time Motordrome start for late model rookie Chantel Germack in car number 21. The female pilot who graduated through the Charger division, then the Pro Truck division, making her debut here at Motordrome in a late modeling, the Germack Heating and Cooling 21 car. Paul Urso, the early leader over Rick Miller. Miller has 2 feature victories to his credit this season and is perfect in heat race action with 3 heat race wins. Trying to get his 4th as he makes an early inside pass of Urso. Rick Miller out in front, 3-time heat race winner already this season, distancing himself from Paul Urso. Mark Poole in car number 96 riding in third spot, the Howard Concrete Pumping Machine, longtime veteran. Last season, Poole placed 9th in the final point standings, and he is closing in on the back bumper of Urso in the battle for second, while Rick Miller checks out on this field. Chantel Germack having a problem in car 21 and rolling slowly into the pit area. Her very first start in a late model car here at Motordrome, and she can barely make 2 laps as car number 21 limps into the pit area with a problem. Germack from North Huntington, Pennsylvania, a talented driver when the car is on the mark. Something clearly wrong with that machine tonight, as she has Charger and Pro Truck experience coming into this rookie season. Heartbreaking situation for the Tom Clark Chevrolet. Germack Heating and Cooling 21. Hopefully Chantel can fix that machine and be out on the speedway for tonight's twin 50 lappers as a challenge develops for second on the speedway. Mark Poole and last season's Rookie of the Year, Paul Urso, side by side working lap number 6 of 10. Poole will take the position away down the back straightaway. Mark Poole suffered injuries last season in a NASCAR Weekly Racing Series accident which sidelined him for a couple of weeks, yet his consistent performances kept him in the top 10 of the final standings. Rick Miller all by himself out in front. Mark Poole in second, Paul Urso third, and veteran John Komarinsky in fourth. Komarinsky, like Chantal Germack, has experience in several divisions here at Motordrome, and he nearly spins the car out of turn 4. Having a problem, Tony Mussolino slips by on the outside just barely. Near disaster as something went amiss for John Komarinsky in turn number 4. The car pushed up into the path of Tony Mussolino after the back end broke loose, and he had to lift from the throttle of that machine as the white flag waves. Thankfully, everyone continues on their way. Tony Mussolino now up into 4th as your leader in car number 25 heads through turns 3 and 4. The Valvoline Brooks Automotive Group Pontiac from the Bellevue Chassis Racing Team. Perfect in heat race action in 2005. Another checkered flag for Rick Miller. Mark Poole in 2nd. Paul Urso finishing 3rd. Tony Mussolino avoids disaster for a 4th place finish. John Komarinsky continues on in the 5th spot. Davies Ford Pro Truck Division out on the speedway now. 2001 trucker champion Dave Merrow in car 69. Outside of him, it is Bob Sprout-Kossel, our opening night feature winner. Into row number 2, it's the 55 of Curtis Stewart, and last week's feature winner, the 02 of Dan Lewis. Ken Grimm drives the Froggy 98 truck. The 1 is Steve Black. The 01 machine is driven by Michael Black. The 22 truck, you see at the back of the field, Dwayne Noel had a mechanical problem during hot lap practice sessions tonight. Lap number 1 of this 8-lap preliminary heat race for the Davies Ford Pro Trucks, led by Bob Sprout-Kossel. Kossel joined us as a guest on our Motordrome Live pre-race show earlier tonight. He won the opening night feature event, but had serious mechanical problems in last week's feature. Kossel, the Connellsville, Pennsylvania veteran, has 2 heat race wins to his credit already this season. Behind him, out in front, it is Dave Merrow and Dan Lewis, last week's feature winner. Lewis last week won the heat and feature, sweeping the Davies Ford Pro Truck racing action. He is currently 3rd, working lap number 3. Being told by the scorers that the truck in 4th is actually being scored as the 0, while behind him it is the 1. Try to sort out those teammates. They look rather identical, but the 0 truck running in the 4th position right now is Michael Black, and it is Steve Black in 5th in truck number 1. Meanwhile, the battle intensifies for the 2nd position. Last week's winner, Dan Lewis. Winner 2 weeks ago, Dave Merrow, fighting it out for 2nd spot. 5 laps down, 3 remaining, and the battle continues side by side for 2nd. Dan Lewis in the 02 from Monongahela, Pennsylvania, has a heat and feature win. Dave Merrow in the 69 truck, the former division champion from Wall, Pennsylvania. He has yet to win a heat in 2005, but did get a big feature victory. In turn number 4, Lewis may have the edge on Merrow and maintains the 2nd spot at the white flag as those 2 nearly trading paint for the 2nd position. Out front, Bob Sprout-Kossel, the 1990 and 91 Pro Stock Division champion here at Motordrome, is out in front to get another heat race victory in truck number 50. Sprout-Kossel, your winner. Battle for 2nd will be Dan Lewis by less than a truck length over Dave Merrow. Green and racing. 8 laps the distance. The 66 machine is driven by Max Schlesinger. But up front, the 64 of Bill Henry is about to feel a side-by-side challenge from Dave Tavermina, who's been fast the last couple of weeks. Tavermina has encountered problems in feature racing action, has yet to find a checkered flag in a feature, but does have a heat race win in car 25. Kostelnik and Rimmel nearly making contact, battling for position just behind Petrini's 33 car. Bill Henry out in front, who finished 6th in the final point standings last season here at Motordrome. Tavermina now will have the 2nd position over Petrini, I should say, who won our opening night feature in car number 33, and Robin Rimmel now moving around Kostelnik for fourth. Here comes the battle for the lead. Action all over the track in the Subway Street Stocks. Dave Tavermina trying to complete the lead pass by a car length as they will reach the scoring line. This time it is lap 3, and we have a new leader. Dave Tavermina, the Stans Transmissions 25 car, out in front. He won a heat race last week. And he's got Jeff Petrini coming right by him, along with Robin Rimmel. All those cars passing the 64 of Henry, your pole sitter and early leader. Crossed flags from our chief starter indicate halfway through this preliminary heat race for the Subway Street Stocks. Tavermina, Petrini, Rimmel, and now look at Schlesinger, who started last in the field. He's passed McManus, he's passed Kostelnik, and he's passed your early leader Henry in the 66 car. Schlesinger comes to life here, riding in the fourth spot behind third place Robin Rimmel, the Napa Auto Parts Ford and veteran driver in the 22. Then it's the 33 of Petrini in second, who has closed the gap on leader Dave Tavermina. Tavermina from Wilmerding, Pennsylvania, leading this heat race over Petrini and Rimmel with 2 laps to go. In last week's feature, Robin Rimmel was the Subway Challenge driver. He ran second for most of the race, then fell back to third. Was very close to winning a free meatball sub for everybody in attendance. Tavermina drops down to the grass, and an error in turn 4 at the white flag. Tavermina Agricultural Racing off the pavement in turns 3 and 4 in car 25. He's working the final lap, and that car may be smoking. Perhaps he slid in a fluid that could be coming from that car. It may be just dust picked up from the infield portion of the track that he used on lap 7, but headed for the checkered flag on lap number 8. He will maintain the lead, and Dave Tavermina wins over Jeff Petrini, Robin Rimmel, and Max Schlesinger. Andrew Kostelnik completes the top 5, and it is definitely smoke coming out of the 25 machine. He's had bad luck after strong heat runs the last 2 weeks, and it looks like his crew may have to do some work on the 25 car before Subway Street Stock feature time. Green flag waves, Turek, Heilman, and then the 74 car of Holder as there's chaos at the back of the field. Burbage not quite up to speed. Holp in the 78 got crossed up in turn 2. Everybody maintains their correct method of travel. I didn't see that incident happen, but it has certainly separated the last 3 cars from the rest of the field as Frank Turek leads lap number 1. Holder in the 74 trying to challenge Heilman for second, and here comes Dustin Blank, the driver we interviewed earlier tonight. He has late model experience, touring series experience, and returns after semi-retirement to the street stock division in car 94. Dustin Blank is all the way from Valencia, Pennsylvania, and he is right on the back bumper of Holder as we work lap number 2. Frank Turek, the current points leader in the street stock division this season, checking out on this field. Working lap 3 of 8. I have a hunch that we're going to see a heated battle develop for second, third, and fourth as those 3 cars about a car length apart on the back straight. Jonathan Heilman in the 15 car. He was 7th in the final point standings last season. Meanwhile, Holder in the 74, who moves to the inside, was 3rd in the standings and got his first Motordrome win last year. Holder has been strong this season. He has not won a heat or a feature, but it looks like he will be taking away the 2nd position headed into turn 3. Holder on the inside, Heilman on the outside, Dustin Blank waiting to strike behind them. Blank started deeper in the field. It is now Holder with the 2nd position on lap 5, Dustin Blank with 3rd as he moves Heilman back to the 4th spot. 3 laps remaining, leader Frank Turek has more than half a straightaway advantage over Jason Holder in 2nd. Turek last season not only the division champion, but had 8 feature victories. He was also the champion back in 1998. The Turek Heating and Plumbing Acme Speedway number 5 of Turek all by himself. We'll see the white flag indicating 1 lap to go in this second Subway Street Stock preliminary heat race. Jason Holder a distant second, Dustin Blank third, and Jonathan Heilman maintaining his position right on the rear bumper of Blank. Blank passed rather easily, but has not been able to run away from the 15 car. Leader in turn number 4 to bring to a close this second heat race for the Subway Street Stocks. Frank Turek, the winner. Jason Holder from Stoystown in second. Dustin Blank will hang on to third. Jonathan Heilman in fourth, and now all the way back to Joe Holp in turn number 4 right now in car 78 to complete the top 5.
If you're looking for more in an auto parts store, get ready. Advance Auto Parts is working harder to make our stores better than the rest. Get ready for an auto parts store unlike anything you've experienced before. Get ready for a cleaner, brighter, better place to shop. Get ready for a store organized so you can easily find what you're looking for. Get ready for in-store innovations you won't find anywhere else. When you want more than just another auto parts store, the first place to go is Advance Auto Parts.
We're ready in advance.
Like to pick up a set of rules to build a car to compete in the American Flyer division sponsored by Advance Auto Parts, stop by our track office behind the main grandstands. They'll tell you how to become a competitor. As Ed Deneen in car 16 takes out to the early lead. He has 2 heat race wins and a feature victory already in 2005. That blue Cavalier out in front. You can see the brake lights as they head into turn 1. Safety modifications, the only thing allowed to these cars. Removing of the glass, removing of all the lights except that brake light. A roll cage welded into the car to protect the drivers and a fuel cell. Safety modifications to street automobiles in the American Flyer division. Of course, beginning next week, there is another method for you to move from the grandstands to the speedway, the Showdown at Sundown. Spectator drag racing begins here at Motordrome next Friday. Line the cars up at 6:30 p.m. and anybody who buys a general admission or reserved seat ticket is eligible to compete in your street legal car as long as you have a driver's license, insurance, a valid registration and inspection sticker on the car. You can race the street vehicle that brought you to the speedway right on the front straight. That'll be a 7 o'clock start. Make sure you're here by 6:30 to sign up and line up. And each week, the Showdown at Sundown, spectator drag racing, 7 o'clock for the remainder of the season beginning next week. White flag is waving for Ed Deneen, who has a healthy lead. Minjock riding in second, Greco in third, Oldham in fourth. Grinch completing the top 5, but Ed Deneen, who's been fast all season, is blowing them away in this first heat race for the Advance Auto Parts American Flyer division. Checkered flag will wave for his 3rd heat race win of 2005. It's Ed Deneen, your winner. Aaron Minjock, Gene Greco, Bill Oldham, and the 71 crossing the line right now, Jeff Grinch completing your top 5. There's the green flag. 5-lap preliminary event. Larry Vance out in front. He has a heat race win already this season. Last year, Vance, your leader in car 28, had 5 feature victories. He came home 4th in the final standings. How about you Mopar fans? Chuck Hall now in the 2nd position in car 67. Nearly had a feature win last week. Could not hold off the advances of Richie Miller, who is now challenging the 6 of WP Bone for 3rd spot. Miller with 2 feature wins, including one in his first ever start in a race car on opening night, taking away the 3rd spot. Bone in the 6 car, I believe the only 4-door competitor in the American Flyers division. Richie Miller bidding for the 2nd position now. The battle we're watching for 2nd was the battle for last week's feature win. The Dodge Daytona and the Chevy Cavalier, 67 car of Chuck Hall, 87 of Richie Miller, battled and traded paint to the finish line in last week's feature. In turn number 4, that battle for 2nd heats up as leader Larry Vance hits the scoring line. Only 2 laps remaining. Vance in a league all by himself in this heat race by a half straightaway, and contact again. Last week they made light contact, and this week the 67 car of Chuck Hall spins into the grass as the 87 of Richie Miller made contact, battling for the second spot. We're going to see a yellow book caution flag here in the Advance Auto Parts American Flyer division. There's the green flag to get our final 2 laps in the books. While Larry Vance is obliterating this field, we want to remind you folks that the folks from Viewpoint Motorsports are on hand here, videotaping the racing action for DVDs and VHS cassettes. The booth is set up behind the main grandstands. You can order those, I believe, $19.95, the cost for a DVD or VHS copy of the racing action from here at the Motordrome Speedway. Very professional production. They were the producers of the We're Going Racing television show, you may remember. And they are on hand with us here at Motordrome Speedway, producing the DVD and VHS racing action you can take home and enjoy all week long. We are 3 wide in the battle for second. Giles to the bottom, loses the handle right in front of, oh, unbelievable. He's still got it going, and the checkered flag waves over Larry Vance. How's that for excitement in the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers? Shake up at the finish. 67 car of Chuck Hall now nearly a part of 2 separate incidents as he avoided the 05, the Giles spinning machine. It's Larry Vance, your winner. Richie Miller back up to a second place finish after all that. And we see a black car with a number 1, but he can't be number 1 because we know Tracy Keller is. We have no name on that nearly blank Monte Carlo running at the back of the field there. The 21 machine is driven by Gary Ankren from Smithfield. He advanced from the American Flyers division and had mechanical problems which sidelined him last week. Yellow Book Charger Division heat race underway. 6 laps, the distance in this preliminary event. The 9 machine of Rick Broadwater from Level Green, your early leader. Tracy Keller in second. Looking like we're about to go 3 wide in the battle for third. Jeff Giles from deep in the field takes away third from Scott Margie in the 65. We don't have a name on the black number 1 car, but it is fast as he started right at the back with Jeff Giles and has passed several cars. Contact on the back straight there between Harold Hunt and Keller in the 13. That's Denny Keller, while Tracy Keller battles for the lead with Broadwater up front. Action all over the speedway. Lead battle side by side. 9 of Rick Broadwater still hangs on to it on lap number 3. Tracy Keller in the 1 car. And Jeff Giles in the 50. Jeff Giles has dominated 2 consecutive features back-to-back weeks like we have never seen in the Yellow Book Charger division before. He has climbed from almost last in this heat race to challenge for the lead, and at the stripe on lap number 4, I believe we have a new leader. It is Jeff Giles. Giles in the 50 car from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, already has a heat race win to go with those 2 straight feature wins. He drops Broadwater back to second, Keller back to third, Margie is 4th, and then the nameless black machine, number 1, taking the white flag. Final lap for the Yellow Book Charger preliminary heat race. Their feature will be 15 laps in distance later on this evening. Battle for second is the best one on the racetrack as Tracy Keller side by side with the 9 of Broadwater. Checkered flag is open once again and waving over the 50 of Jeff Giles. Broadwater hangs on to second over Keller. Scott Margie is 4th. And the mystery car completing the top 5, that black number 1 machine. I believe a first week out for that car. It's time to go feature racing in the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series here at Motordrome Speedway. The Smale Pontiac GMC Modified Division rolls out for a 20-lap feature event. On the pole in the 97 machine, it's George P. Nicola from Pittsburgh. Outside of him in car number 3 from New Eagle, Pennsylvania, Matt Smith. Inside of row number 2, driving car number 94 from Wall, Pennsylvania, it's Al Civic. And outside of him, a modified division rookie in the 04, it is Bob Shipp from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. Inside row number 3, it's heat race winner in car 32, Matt Panaya from Plumboro. Outside of him, another Pittsburgh driver in car number 5, that's Jim Nicola. Inside row number 4, the 99 car is driven by Bo Glemba from Charleroi. Outside of him, it will be the current points leader in car 60, Adam Kostelnik, the Viglione Racing entry. He is from East McKeesport. Then it's back to Gary Scott in car number 16. Outside of him, the 01 of Harry Opfer, last week's feature winner, the 98 of Mike Bacalon. Driving car number 6, it is Tom Frank. The 12 machine is Brad Calvert. And 12 of Calvert makes hard contact with the 6 car. 2 cars tangled up between turns 1 and 2. Tom Frank, who we had just introduced, along with Brad Calvert, getting tangled up at the back of this field. The yellow book caution will come out before the start is complete. George P. Nicola and Matt Smith, both veterans with feature victories to their credit, taking the green flag. Slight problem in the middle of the field on the start as Gary Scott, Bo Glemba, and Harry Opfer made contact. Everybody continues on. The lead battle is side by side. George P. Nicola and the nuclear banana of Matt Smith, car number 3. Matt Smith has 2 heat race victories this season so far. Nicola has 2 heat race victories this season. They are side by side for the lead. Matt Smith last season 5th in the final standings with 1 feature victory. Last season, Nicola with 4 wins placed 2nd in the final standings. Nicola still leads by inches on lap number 2. Behind them, the side-by-side battle finds division rookie Bob Shipp in the 04, the Charger division champion from last year, and the modified points leader Adam Kostelnik, who was the division titleist a year ago. George P. Nicola now has his car entirely in front of Matt Smith for the first time on lap 3. They played bumper tag in turns 1 and 2, and down the back straight, Smith is going to try again to the high side, thinks better of it. Tucks back in line as Adam Kostelnik may be reeling in the leaders. Matt Smith and George P. Nicola bumper to bumper through the corners here at Motordrome. Look at Kostelnik close on the lead battle. Defending champion and a feature winner already this season, Adam Kostelnik from East McKeesport in the 60, reeling in the race-long lead battle here on lap 4. Action all over the speedway. Nicola out in front, Smith second, Kostelnik third. Look at the battle for 4th. Panaya gets crossed up. He's on the back bumper of Shipp and pulls the back end in to avoid a spin. That allows Rich Nicola to take the high side of division rookie Shipp. Battle for 4th. Rich Nicola in the 5. Bob Shipp in the 04. Stacking them up 2 by 2. It's Matt Panaya and Bo Glemba side by side behind them. Matt Smith in second spot makes light contact again with the rear bumper of George P. Nicola. Not sure where to watch. Action up front. Smith continues to lean on the back bumper of Nicola's car, but they're still 2 wide, 3 rows deep in the battle for 4th. Matt Smith is all over the rear end of Nicola's car. Kostelnik's going to try the high side, but he makes contact with the 3. Meanwhile, back in 4th, Jim Nicola finally breaks free of the 04 of Bob Shipp, and the lead battle is intensified. Adam Kostelnik from mid-pack start is challenging the front row starters. He is to the inside of Matt Smith. They make contact, but Kostelnik pulls away with second spot, and Smith is off the pace in a big way. The 3 of Matt Smith has parked on the back straight and will bring out a caution flag on lap 8. Battle for 5th finds heat race winner Matt Panaya in the 32, Bob Shipp in the 04 side by side. Right behind them, it's two early season feature winners, Mike Bacalon and opening night winner Gary Scott side by side. Gary Scott in the Swiss Vale Music 16 car started deep in this field, as did Bacalon, and they are challenging for top 5 positions as a 4-car battle. Panaya, Ship, Bacalon, and Scott dicing for top 5 positions. Up front, George P. Nicola over Adam Kostelnik. Jim Nicola and Bo Glemba. Kostelnik looking to the outside. Lap 10 of 20, halfway through this Smale Pontiac GMC modified feature. And Kostelnik took second spot away with a high side pass. He's going to try to get the lead the same way. Viglione Racing number 60 trying the high line around George P. Nicola. Can't get the job done on lap 11. Side-by-side fight allows Rich Nicola and Bo Glemba in the 99 to stay tucked into the lead battle. Meanwhile, in 5th, Matt Panaya has broken away with that position all by himself over Gary Scott and Mike Bacalon. Top 4 are the cars to watch right now. George P. Nicola, Adam Kostelnik, Rich Nicola, Bo Glemba. Working lap number 12, Kostelnik continues to peak to the high side each lap in turn number 1. This time he may be staying there, and he's got the bumper in around the high side of Nicola. 60 of Kostelnik, 97 of Nicola fighting for the lead. George P. Nicola, with 4 wins last season, the 2000 Street Stock champion here at the Speedway. He has yet to win a feature in 2005, but has 2 heat race wins. Adam Kostelnik, the winner, second night of racing here at Motordrome in 2005, leading the point standings. Rich Nicola, another former champion, rides in 3rd in car number 5. Nicola, the 2001 and 2003 champion here at the Speedway. Bo Glemba and Matt Panaya in 4th and 5th, looking to have career best runs, both still seeking their first feature win. We are working lap number 15, only 5 to go. Kostelnik makes a little bobble, and Nicola gets a couple car length advantage in that lead. Just as quickly, Kostelnik makes up the ground. Those cars very equal on the speedway. Nicola hanging to the bottom side will force Adam Kostelnik to make the same type of pass he made for second. A high side move, car number 60. He only has 4 laps to try it, and now Bo Glemba's going to challenge for 3rd. Behind the lead battle, they're side by side. Bo Glemba to the inside, Rich Nicola to the high side. Glemba pushes up the banking and opens the door for Matt Panaya, 3 wide in turn 4 that time. Matt Panaya won his heat race and looks as strong as he has all season in car number 32. He followed Glemba through for the 3rd spot, but just as quickly is challenging to take it away. Nicola back 2 spots in 1 lap, while George P. Nicola, your leader, will see the signal for 2 laps remaining with Adam Kostelnik all over his back bumper. Matt Panaya in 3rd, but has Bo Glemba challenging again. Action all over the speedway. George P. Nicola has led from the drop of the green flag, but it hasn't been easy, and it certainly hasn't been boring. The 97 car will see the white flag waving this time with Adam Kostelnik. A final challenge in turn 1 to the high side coming this time. Viglione Racing number 60 of the defending modified champion can't get enough momentum in the top groove of the racetrack to overtake your leader, George P. Nicola. Behind them, things have settled down with Panaya in 3rd, Glemba in 4th. Lap cars headed for the finish. It will be George P. Nicola, first-time winner in 2005. Kostelnik hangs on for 2nd over Panaya. Glemba. A hard-fought battle for George P. Nicola.
The 7th caller to order this delightful brand new 1995 Buick Park Avenue Ultra brake master cylinder is going to get a special treat, Dale.
That's right, Michael.
All right, wow, we've already got our 7th caller. Who are we talking to?
This is Todd.
Todd, you're going to love your new master cylinder, but you're also going to love your special treat. 7 days at Michael's house.
Man, Michael, this is going to be awesome. I hope you like laser tag. Hello? Michael?
last week's feature winner, Bobby Henry from Connellsville, as Mussolino has trouble coming up to speed on the start. The pole sitter allows the entire field to drive by car number 12 as he did not come up to speed. Perhaps he missed a shift. Disaster narrowly avoided on the front straight as Tony Mussolino, the Pittsburgh driver, failed to come up to speed at the green flag, and everyone has moved around him. John Messenger benefits from that chaos as he opens up an advantage of several car lengths over the battle for second, which includes Somerset's Gary Wiltrout and Connellsville's Chris Kossel. Wiltrout, the former division champion, takes the second position away from Kossel. Wiltrout last season finished third in the final point standings in the late model division with 3 victories to his credit. Messenger finished fourth in the final standings and leads him on the racetrack as the West Virginian in car number 51 still has 6 or 8 car lengths advantage, working lap number 3 of 50. Chris Kossel hanging on to third position. His teammate, the defending champion, Rick Miller, all over the back bumper. The Bellevue chassis entry side by side in turns 3 and 4. Battle for third, Rick Miller takes away position. Lap number 4. Battle developing for the 5th spot now. Mike Adams in car 43, Brandon Manns in car 15. They are side by side. Manns, last season a rookie in the division. This year, the entire team moves from pro truck racing to late model racing. On lap number 5, he has the 5th position by not quite a car length over Adams, and then it's veteran Mark Poole in the 96. On lap number 6, a challenge for the lead down the back straight. John Messenger and Gary Wiltrout going side by side for the top position. Messenger in 51 using the bottom lane. Wiltrout very strong on the high side in the Benz Racing 60. New leader on lap 7 is Gary Wiltrout. Now it's side by side for second. John Messenger, 51, Rick Miller, 25. Battling for second position in the very early stages of this event. Miller has the spot on lap 8. John Messenger was the benefactor of lap 1 chaos when pole sitter Tony Mussolino didn't come up to speed. Messenger finds himself now in third position as Gary Wiltrout and Rick Miller, a pair of former NASCAR late model champions, leading this event on lap 9 of 50. Chris Kossel, the rookie, hangs on to fourth over Brandon Manns. Manns in fourth has Mark Poole all over the back bumper of the 15 car. Battle for seventh, last week's feature winner, Bobby Henry, on lap number 10, taking away the 7th position from John Komarinsky. Henry's teammate, meanwhile, leading Rick Miller as we complete lap number 10, working lap 11 into turns 1 and 2 with the leaders. Rick Miller gaining now in each corner on Wiltrout's number 60 car. Miller in the 25 after 2 victories on consecutive weeks, opening night and night number 2, had that car subjected to a NASCAR technical inspection, and the teardown proved the 25 car to be legal. Last week, coming in as the points leader, he had 2 setbacks in the feature event, still managed a top 4 finish. He won our top dog dash for cash earlier tonight and is now challenging Wiltrout for the lead. It's lap 13 and Rick Miller using the low side of the speedway to challenge Gary Wiltrout in the 60 car. In both of Miller's feature victories, he took the lead on lap 19, his former car number in the early days of his competition in the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series. We are working lap 14, and Wiltrout has just a little over a car length advantage. Messenger has not dropped back from the lead duo as the West Virginian in car 51, part of the 3-car battle that is checked out from Chris Kossel, the rookie, in fourth. Miller had the right front fender nearly even to the numbers on Wiltrout at the line. It's lap 15, and they are going to be side by side headed into turn number 3. Wiltrout drifts up about half a lane too high in the 60 car and opens the door for Miller. They make contact at the starting line. Lap 16, new leader is Rick Miller from deep in the field. Gary Wiltrout falls back a couple car lengths in second, while John Messenger nearly loses the car on the back straight. Messenger very close to the wall, had to save it. Back off just a little and is now several car lengths between himself and second place Gary Wiltrout. Lap number 17, and Rick Miller is out in front. Wiltrout, Messenger, Chris Kossel, Brandon Manns, and last week's winner, Bobby Henry. Henry has passed Komarinsky, Urso, and Mark Poole in the last few laps and has the 11 car looking at the 15 of Brandon Manns, which would get him on the scoreboard for a 5th place position here on lap 18. At the scoring line this time, the leaders will see 20 laps complete, 30 laps to go. There will be 2 50-lap features. This first one, 20 laps in, and Rick Miller, the current division points leader, 6th in NASCAR's regional standings. Out in front of this field over Gary Wiltrout, John Messenger, Chris Kossel, and Brandon Manns. Earlier in the event, the 43 of Mike Adams retired to the pit area. That car has been refired, and Mike Adams returns to the speedway on lap 21 in car number 43. In mind on a weekly basis, 40-lap features for the Napa late models. Will be interesting to see if drivers conserve their tires to go the extra 50-lap distance tonight. That final 10 laps could prove to be havoc for these drivers who are weekly accustomed to a 40-lap battle. We are on lap 24 with Rick Miller out in front. 2 feature wins and 4 heat race wins on the season for the driver of the Valvoline Brooks Automotive Group Pontiac. Gary Wiltrout in the 2nd position, driving car number 60, his first season with this team. Wiltrout has yet to win a heat or feature, but was oh so strong last year with 3 feature victories and a 3rd place finish in the season-long standings. John Messenger rides in the 3rd spot on lap 26. We are just past the halfway mark with rookie Chris Kossel having his best run to date. Earlier tonight on MOTORDROME Speedway Live, our pre-race radio show, Chris Kossel's father, Bob Sprout Kossel, joined us in the tower for an interview. Said that he liked the way Chris was progressing as a late model rookie. And he is looking for his first top 5 finish tonight in the 50-lapper. He's running 4th and has a comfortable advantage over Brandon Manns at this point in the event. A career best finish could be in the cards this evening for Chris Kossel of Connellsville in the Bellevue chassis number 38 car. On back to Brandon Manns in car number 15. He won a Top Dog Challenge Dash earlier this season, hanging on to the 5th position and has distanced himself from Bobby Henry. Last week's feature winner, Bobby Henry, had closed on the 15 car. They were battling for 5th earlier in this event, but Brandon Manns has outrun the veteran. Working lap 29, behind Henry in the 6th spot, we see a battle for 7th with Paul Urso and Mark Poole. Urso nearly having a problem there out of turn number 2, as the back end broke free from him just a bit. Mark Poole, the veteran, in car 96. And the sophomore driver, Paul Urso, in the Froggy 98 car. Urso, because of that miscue, now has John Komarinsky right on his back bumper. Komarinsky, the beautiful Rolling Rock number 33 car. Behind him, quite a distance, it is Tony Musolino, who failed to come up to speed on that start in car number 12 from Pittsburgh. Lap 31, and the Napa late models spread out around the speedway with a safe distance between all positions. Rick Miller completes lap 31 over Wiltrout, Messenger, Kossel, and Mans, the top 5. I want to remind you that Napa Auto Parts, the title division sponsor of the NASCAR late models here at MOTORDROME Speedway, will be presenting the Crown Jewel event later this summer when the Napa Auto Parts 100 rolls off from the MOTORDROME Speedway on Friday night, August the 12th. Last season, Bobby Henry was the winner of that event. Henry currently rides 6th in tonight's opening 50-lapper. Mike Adams in the 43 made another pit stop, now returns to competition here on lap 34. Laps to go for Rick Miller, division points leader. He makes his way around the lapped machine of Mike Adams and has approximately a half straightaway lead over Gary Wiltrout. Last week, Rick Miller was the Valvoline Oil Hard Charger Award winner for advancing the most positions from his starting spot. He finished in the 4th position, and it was the first time all season that he was not parked in victory lane at the end of a Napa Late Models feature. On the strength of those finishes, Miller continues to lead the point standings. He has 159 points coming into tonight's racing over Bobby Henry with 144. Tonight's twin feature format promises to shake up the point standings. As we see Mark Poole falling off the pace a bit in turn number 4. Mark Poole dropping back 2 positions as we work lap 38 of 50. John Komarinsky has moved around him. Paul Urso has moved around him. And the Howard Concrete Pumping Grand Prix number 96 of Mark Poole is slowing down just a bit as we approach the late stages of this event. When Rick Miller hits the scoring line the next time by, it will be lap 40, the conclusion of a typical late model feature here at MOTORDROME. And we talk about tire management. Last year's Mr. Consistency, John Messenger, is closing in on Gary Wiltrout, possibly a battle for second in these last 10 laps. Rick Miller all by himself out front, but down the back straightaway, we'll watch the battle for second. Mike Adams in the 43 after several pit stops is the lapped car in front of Gary Wiltrout's 60. Adams heads for the pits again, but John Messenger is within striking distance of the former champion. John Messenger was so consistent in 2004. He has yet to find a MOTORDROME Speedway late model victory, but the West Virginian could be posing a threat to Wiltrout, who is currently riding second on lap 42. Brandon Mans hangs on to 4th place, his career best run in the late model division after Pro Truck success in past seasons. Brandon Mans still in 5th over last week's winner, Bobby Henry. And Mark Poole retires the 96 car to the pit area on lap 43. In turn 2, the battle intensifies for second as Messenger had the right front fender up to the wheel of Wiltrout's machine. Thought better of it, avoided contact, and backed off. Wiltrout continues in second. This time there are 6 laps remaining. Best battle on the track is the one for second position, the 2001 late model champion Gary Wiltrout and West Virginia's John Messenger. These drivers are well behind your leader Rick Miller with 5 laps to go, but Messenger could be threatening for a second place finish. Wiltrout had that hard-fought battle for the lead with Rick Miller earlier. He was using a high line of the speedway as Miller moved underneath him. You've got to wonder if he's abused his tires as Messenger closes the gap again in turn 4, nearly side by side as they hit the line this time in the battle for second. John Messenger in the 51, Gary Wiltrout in the 60. The battle will be for second as Rick Miller appears headed for a 3rd feature win of the season. And each lap in turn 4, Messenger gets closer and closer to taking away the runner-up spot. It is lap 47, and Will Trout is in the high lane. Messenger down low out of turn 2. Down the back straight, Messenger at the back end, jumping out just a little bit from the 51 car. He has to correct, and that gives Will Trout a second chance to hang on to his second position. At the line, again nearly side by side, Will Trout hangs on to second by a fender only as there are 2 laps to go. Again on the back straight, side by side, John Messenger from Morgantown, West Virginia in car 51. Gary Wiltrout from Somerset, Pennsylvania in car 60. White flag waves for Miller, and out of turn number 4, it will be Messenger taking over the second position on lap 49. Side by side again down the back straight. We'll watch that one unfold. Meanwhile, in turn number 4, ASA veteran, 2-time and defending champion Rick Miller with his 3rd win of 2005. At the stripe, John Messenger has a second place finish over Gary Wiltrout. Brandon Manns with a career best in 4th and in 5th. Chris Kossel with his career best in 4th and Brandon Manns in 5th. Is driven by Steve Black of Greensburg. Then we find the 55 of Curtis Stewart from North Huntington, the 69 of Dave Merrow from Wall. Last week's feature winner, the 02 of Dan Lewis from Monongahela, and the 98 of Ken Grimm from Masontown. Two and three wide racing down the front straight on lap number 1. Bob Kossel, the early leader, Connellsville, Pennsylvania veteran in truck number 50. Then it's the 0. I know the truck in 2nd and 4th look absolutely identical, but the truck in 2nd is scored as 0 tonight. That is driven by Michael Black of Greensburg, and then it's the 1 of Steve Black, but it's Dave Merrow, former division champion, splitting the Black Racing entries and trucking his way up to 2nd, but they make contact. Merrow with a great job to save that truck, and now the Blacks making teammate contact. Orange to orange in the Pro Truck division. Steve Black in the 1, making hard side-to-side contact with Michael Black in the 0. And all that racing action allows last week's feature winner, the 02 of Dan Lewis, to take over 3rd. Now being told that the 2nd Black truck, the 0, currently in 5th, is Dink Colarusso. Dink's name came up earlier tonight as a former winner in the street stock division. Dink Colarusso drives the 0, Steve Black in the 1. So although they are teammates, that contact was not a family affair that we saw on the racetrack. Working lap number 5 of 15, Bob Sprout Kossel over Dave Merrow and Dan Lewis. All 3 of those drivers feature winners in 2005 so far. Perhaps the first repeat in the division tonight. Kossel, opening night winner. Merrow, winner of our 2nd night of racing. And Lewis, the winner on night number 3 of the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series here at MOTORDROME. Bob Sprout Kossel out in front, 2-time champion of the Pro Truck division here. Dink Colarusso, meanwhile, racing in about the 5th or 6th spot, having a near incident there on the back straight in the 0 truck. In fact, he has definitely made contact with the wall. Looking back in the 5th position, Dink Colarusso driving the 2nd of the Steve Black trucks, scored number 0 tonight, and this time when he heads down the front straight, take a look at the right side of truck number 0. We see his teammate in the 1 coming by unscathed, but look at the rear end of the 0 car. He definitely made contact with the back straight wall. Working lap 9 of 15, Bob Sprout Kossel over Dave Merrow. Both of those drivers have track championships to their credit here at MOTORDROME. Dan Lewis in the 02 told us last week in Victory Lane he was thinking about moving on to the late models, as so many of his truck competitors from last season have done, but he wants a track championship on his resume, and he's staying in the Pro Truck division to do it. He is third on the Speedway. Steve Black in truck number 1 is fourth. 5 laps to go. From Connellsville may have enough to avoid any challenge from Dave Merrow in second. So far this season, the 3 fastest trucks in the division are currently 1, 2, and 3 on the racetrack. Bob Kossel, Dave Merrow, Dan Lewis. Lewis last week winning both the heat race and the feature. 22 machine of Dwayne Noel moving out of the way of the leaders as the white flag is waving. Merrow has now suddenly come to life as the white flag waves. He may not have enough time to strike at leader Kossel, but after a tremendously disappointing week, Bob Kossel with serious mechanical problems last Friday night recovers in a big way and will take the checkered flag for his second win of the season. Dave Merrow in second, Dan Lewis third, Steve Black in fourth, and Nick Colarusso, despite damage, completing the top 5. Green and racing. 77 is Rich Burbage. Scratch on the field. 20-lap Subway Street Stock feature. Andrew Kostelnik could get everybody a meatball sub coming from the 8th position, but it's Dave Tavermina taking the early lead. Tavermina's been fast in a couple of weeks here, but has yet to find victory lane in a feature. Trouble for Bill Henry, the Vandergrift driver, not up to speed on lap 1 and retires to the pit area. Battle for second is Robin Rimmel in the 22, the 66 of Schlesinger. Robin Rimmel very strong last season with 5 feature wins, and we've got a problem in turn 3. Jeff Petrini and Joe Holt have locked up. Petrini driving off the grass in turn 4 and is headed into the pit area. The opening night feature winner has had nothing but problems ever since that stunning first Motordrome win here on opening night. Petrini with a flat tire and some body damage on car 33 down pit lane. 25 of Tavermina still out in front, 3 wide down the front straight. Dustin Blank, Jonathan Heilman, and there's contact with the 5 of defending champion Frank Turek. That action going on for positions 6, 7, 8, and 9. Turek now around Dustin Blank. Top 5 breaking away just a bit from that group. Petrini returns to competition on lap 4, right in front of the leaders. It looked like that right front tire was flat, but he definitely has some body damage. We'll see if that tire continues to lose air after his off-track excursion with Joe Holp on lap number 1. Petrini, who was out in front on week number 1, is now out in front as a lapped car. Tavermina trying to make his way around the damaged back marker of Petrina. Dave Tavermina from Wilmerding, Pennsylvania, has a heat race win. He was 4th in the street stock standings at the end of 2004. He has now found the low line under Jeff Petrini and has Robin Rimmel coming right with him. Robin Rimmel from White, Pennsylvania, the Napa Auto Parts Ford number 22, climbs into the 2nd position. Then it's Petrini who's a lap down, Schlesinger in the 66, and side by side, defending champion Frank Turek and 74 Jason Holder. Petrini now moves out of the way on the front straight, lap number 7. Robin Rimmel, Dave Tavermina. Leading this field over Schlesinger. And look at Frank Turek, who's coming from the rear of the field. Turek started near the back after winning last week's feature, is bringing Jason Holder right with them. They are closing quickly on Schlesinger's 66 car. Bumper to bumper in the battle for lead, and Tavermina may have dropped off the racetrack again as we saw significant sparks from the frame of the 25 machine. He seemed to be having some trouble at the end of his heat race. Although he drove to victory in the preliminary tonight, the car was smoking, and now that time in turn 4, a shower of sparks from the bottom of the 25 car. Robin Rimmel in second. Schlesinger about to lose third to Frank Turek. The man on the move is Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania's Frank Turek. It's lap number 10, halfway through this event. 10 down, 10 to go, and Turek is up to third from a back of the pack starting position on the grid. We have a caution flag for the spin by Andrew Kostelnik in turn number 2. A very quick start gets the green flag in turn 4. Tavermina, Rimmel, and Turek broke away from the rest of the field, including Schlesinger, Holder, Heilman. 10 down, 10 to go. Here comes Frank Turek. He started at the back. He won last week. He's the defending champion, and he's fighting Robin Rimmel for second spot. Chevrolet versus Ford in turn number 4. Turek's Monte Carlo will take away second position on lap number 11. Dave Tavermina has led from the start. The pole sitter in car 25 was challenging for the lead 2 weeks ago with Frank Turek when those two made contact. Turek spun and Tavermina was sent to the rear for rough driving 2 weeks ago. And again, the lead battle will be the 25 of Wilmerding, Pennsylvania's Dave Tavermina and Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania's Frank Turek, working lap number 12 of 20. Turek up from the rear has just about cinched himself as tonight's Valvoline oil hard charger by advancing through this field. He wants to take home a second consecutive Subway street stock victory as he closes on the 25. Looking to the inside down the back straight. 2 weeks ago they made contact. Tonight they battle again for the lead with a slow car just barely getting out of the way. Al Minjock in the 6 is headed for the pit area and had to make for a hair-raising moment for your leaders as that battle wages on. Tavermina and Turek. There were no hard feelings after those two drivers made contact in the lead battle 2 weeks ago. But tonight, a second chance at it while Robin Rimmel watches from the third spot. Top 3 cars have broken away quite a distance from Jason Holder in 4th and Jonathan Heilman in 5th. Tavermina wiggles the car out of turn 4. Everybody closes up on him. Could be 3 wide in turn number 1 as Rimmel joins the fight. Frank Turek to the bottom. Subway street stock excitement down the back straight. Tavermina gets a little bit loose again and Turek has the front bumper out in front of him. Robin Rimmel looking to follow Turek into the inside lane and take away second from Tavermina, who's having handling trouble and falls back to third. It's lap number 16 and Frank Turek is the new leader. Turek in car number 5, Rimmel in 22, Tavermina in 25. Jason Holder all by himself in 4th, and a battle for, well, I guess it's not a battle for 5th because Schlesinger in the 66 is on the lead lap and the 33 of Petrini is a lap down. Turek in car number 5. 8 feature wins last season along with the Subway Street Stock Championship. With 2 laps to go, Tavermina trying to find a lane to move back into second, which he held for only an instant before Robin Rimmel took it away. Tavermina dropped 2 spots in 1 lap. And Turek is escaping from those 2 as they battle for second. White flag in the air. Turek also the 1998 Subway Street Stock champion. Turek has 3 heat race victories in 2005. looks to be headed to victory lane once again in turn number 3. The Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania driver, the Turek Heating and Plumbing Acme Speedway Monte Carlo number 5 of Frank Turek, victorious again. Dave Tavermina reclaims the 2nd position. Robin Rimmel in 3rd, Jason Holder 4th, and Max Schlesinger completing the top 5.
What's our next item, Junior?
Well, Michael, this is something the 86 Buick Electra estate wagon owner in your life will really appreciate.
Wow.
It's a power brake booster check valve.
That thing is stunning. Can we get a closer shot of it?
Yeah, man, this thing is the real deal, Michael. Just look at the quality.
Too bad my race car doesn't need a power brake booster check valve. That thing is sweet.
I've got it. It is sweet.
Chris Kossel, the rookie with a best 4th place finish last feature in car 38. Gary Wiltrout in 60, John Messenger 51, winner Rick Miller 25. Completely inverted, the late model field takes the green flag for the second 50 lapper. Paul Urso and Bobby Henry side by side on the back straight. Battle is for 3rd. Urso, rookie of the year last season. Bobby Henry, winner a week ago and a 2-time winner last season in the Stone and Company Beacon Ford number 11. Lap number 1, Brandon Manns, the sophomore driver, out in front. Henry now takes the high side away from Mike Adams and completes his pass for 2nd. Urso and Poole nearly making contact. Rick Miller has already passed his stiffest competitors from the first event. Rick Miller has advanced 6 spots. We're on lap number 2. Battle is for 3rd with Paul Urso and Mike Adams side by side. Urso in the 98. Adams, who was 12th in the standings last season, loses the 3rd spot and has Mark Poole right on his heels. Mark Poole is now down to the bottom of the 43 of Adams. Rick Miller, clearly the fastest race car on the track, working lap number 3. Miller has also secured the inside line and takes away the 5th position from Mike Adams. Just as quickly, Rick Miller goes to work on Mark Poole. Poole currently in 4th in the Howard Concrete 96 car. He retired from the first event with a mechanical problem in the 96 and now has the defending champion directly underneath him. In turn 4, Miller completes the pass for 4th. Working lap number 5, the lead battle is growing stronger as sophomore Brandon Manns in the 15 and the 11 of Bobby Henry are out in front by several car lengths over 3rd place racing Paul Urso. The 11 of Henry looking to the inside. Brandon Manns from North Huntington, Pennsylvania, hanging on to the lead after winning a top dog dash for his first late model checkered flag earlier this season. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd develops as Miller is side by side with Urso and ready to take away that spot. Miller is 3rd on lap 7 after starting scratch in the field. Side by side, the lead battle down the back straight, Bobby Henry and Brandon Manns. Henry all the way to the bottom. The 11 car is handling well, and Brandon Manns, one groove up, seems to have found enough speed. No, he hasn't. On lap 8, we have a brand new leader. It is veteran Bobby Henry from Connellsville, taking the point position on lap 8. Henry and Manns were battling for 5th position in the first 50 lapper when Henry's car faded and dropped back several car lengths from the 15 machine. The Lint Flooring team apparently hard at work as the 11 is handling much better here in the early stages of this 2nd feature. Manns all by himself in 2nd, still using the higher side of the racetrack in that Ford Taurus number 15. Out of turn 2 and down the back straight. Best battle on the racetrack is for 5th. Gary Wiltrout to the inside of Mark Poole. Working lap 11, Wiltrout and Poole remain side by side all the way around the racetrack. Poole at the scorer's line officially had 5th, but that could change as they hit the stripe at lap number 12. It does indeed. Gary Wiltrout now into the 5th position and on the scoreboard while the battle for 2nd is heated up. Into turn 3, Rick Miller diving to the inside of the driver who was his teammate last season. Miller in the championship campaign had a 2nd team, which was driven by late model rookie Brandon Mans. And Mans is not surrendering the 2nd position easily to his former teammate. Bobby Henry with a several car length advantage over the battle for 2nd. Miller completing that pass in turn 4 on lap number 14. All the way from the rear of the field, Rick Miller with another tremendous drive here tonight up to the 2nd spot. Brandon Mans, who had a top 5 earlier tonight, could be looking at a career best finish in 3rd if he can defend last season's Rookie of the Year, Paul Urso. Bobby Henry in car number 11 dominated last week's feature event here at Motordrome. He led every lap. His first win of 2005 and first victory for this brand new team. And he's got the 2-time defending champion in 2nd, about 6 or 7 car lengths behind him. Then Brandon Mans is all by himself comfortably in 3rd over Paul Urso. Then it's Gary Wiltrout in the 60, who, like Miller, started near the tail of this field. Best battle is now for 4th, headed down the back straight. Wiltrout, who has advanced from the rear of the field, is working lap 17 and moves to the high side of Paul Urso. Urso in the Froggy 98 machine. Wiltrout in the Lincoln Stone and Company Megan Ford takes away the position and brings Messenger with him. Urso is off the pace, and that's the reason that Messenger and Poole will move around the 98 car as Urso will head for the pit area. It's lap number 19, and Paul Urso falls out of the event, headed for the pits while racing in the top 5. That shakeup makes Henry your leader, Miller still in 2nd, Brandon Mans still in 3rd, and Gary Wiltrout now up to 4th with John Messenger on the scoreboard for a 5th position here at lap number 20 of 50. Bobby Henry, your leader, Rick Miller in 2nd. 2 drivers that are no stranger to extra distance late model races. Henry, who has competed in several 100-lap features over his late model career, won last year's Napa 100 in late summer. Rick Miller in the 25 car, a Touring Series racer, as he traveled the nation in the nationally televised ASA Late Model Series back in the 1990s, gaining valuable experience on tour in 300 and 400-lap events. Working lap number 23. Leader headed into turn number 3, and lap traffic, the 43 of Mike Adams, who made several pit stops in our first feature. About to go a lap down as we are approaching the halfway mark of this event. Bobby Henry has led from the start just as he dominated last week. He moves around the slower car of Adams. Miller soon to follow suit, but that margin between 1st and 2nd appears to be holding at just about the same distance. Miller, who passed every car on the racetrack except the one that looms in front of him, seemed to be the fastest car on the speedway by far. Now Henry and Miller holding an even distance between themselves, 1st and 2nd, as we are now halfway through. 25 down, 25 to go. Brandon Mans in 3rd, Gary Wiltrout in 4th, and John Messenger challenging him. Out of turn 4 and down the front straight, the best battle on the racetrack is now for 4th. John Messenger of Morgantown, West Virginia, had a career best finish in 2nd just moments ago, and is now challenging Gary Wiltrout for the 4th position. A banner night, a career night for John Messenger, the popular West Virginia driver. An all-around good guy in car number 51, admired by everyone in the pits. He was Mr. Consistency last season, and he's side by side with the former champion Gary Wiltrout on lap 27 down the back straight. In turn number 3, side by side. At the scoring line on lap 28, we'll decide who's in 4th. It is Messenger as he completes the pass and gets the entire car out in front of Wiltrout. A banner night for Messenger. Into turn 1, the leader, Bobby Henry, encounters Rick Miller's teammate, Chris Kossel. He puts a lap on the 38 machine, and Rick Miller seems at this point unable to close the gap between Henry and himself. Miller now under his Bellevue chassis teammate. Less than half a straightaway is the margin on lap number 30. But Rick Miller, who stormed through this field, may have used up the tires. Bobby Henry has had things all his way and was able to race very conservatively in the first third of this event. Lap number 31, and Rick Miller at this point the points leader over Bobby Henry. In the current standings, Miller came into tonight with a narrow margin over Bobby Henry. He would have increased that by winning the first 50-lap feature, with Henry placing in the 6th spot. And on lap 32, Rick Miller up to 2nd, but unable to challenge for the lead. Brandon Mans is all by himself in 3rd, and then back to John Messenger, looking to follow up his runner-up finish with a 4th place. Gary Wiltrout completes the top 5 as the cars are spread out all over the speedway in this second of the twin 50-lap features for the NASCAR Dodge Weekly Racing Series and the Napa late models. Leader Bobby Henry on the back straight. Rick Miller in the 2nd position. It was a dramatic first half of the event as Rick Miller and Gary Wiltrout made their way up through the field. Things have cooled off here on lap 36, and just as we say that, the battle resumes on the front straight. At the scoring line on lap 36, Gary Wiltrout reclaims the 4th position that we saw Messenger take away from him a few laps ago. Battle for 4th and 5th, the best one on the racetrack. Wiltrout in the high line, Messenger in the low line. Wiltrout again at the scoring line, holding on to 4th position, and has now completed the pass with the car length of breathing room between himself and the West Virginian John Messenger. Mark Poole quite a distance behind those drivers in 6th. Then it's Tony Mussolino, who had the problem on lap number 1 of our first feature. Consistent run here on lap 38 of our second twin 50. Then it's John Komarinsky in the 33. Next time by, there will be only 10 laps remaining. Bobby Henry holding a steady lead, and Rick Miller, the defending champion, unable to close the gap to challenge for the lead in the late stages of this event. Next up will be the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers feature. That will be followed by our Yellow Book Charger division to conclude tonight's NASCAR Weekly Racing Series action. Before the end of this feature event, Bobby Henry will have more lapped cars to deal with. Seems at this point to possibly be opening up the margin over Rick Miller in 2nd. These two drivers, 1 and 2 in the current season point standings. Henry 2nd in the title chase, 1st on the racetrack. Miller, points leader, 2nd on the racetrack. Bobby Henry will be approaching John Komarinsky's number 33 car to put the Greensburg veteran a lap down. Komarinsky stays to the high side. Henry has the racing room. Mike Adams retiring from this second feature event. He had mechanical problems during the first one. Tough night for the Elizabeth, Pennsylvania driver. With only 5 laps remaining, Rick Miller now has the lapped machine of John Komarinsky between himself and leader Bobby Henry. It does not appear as if Miller will be able to mount a challenge unless Bobby Henry makes a serious mistake as he approaches Mark Poole and Tony Musolino to put them a lap down. Only 4 laps to go. Leader working the back straight. The battle we watched earlier still finds Wiltrout ahead of Messenger in 4th and 5th position. And how about Brandon Mans, another driver having a career night? The sophomore late model driver appears to be headed to a 3rd place finish. The North Huntington youngster, moving his entire team from Pro Truck Division to Late Model Division, has a banner night here at MOTORDROME Speedway. This time, the signal given to leader Bobby Henry that only 2 laps remain. Last season, the Megan Ford Stone and Company Taurus, number 60 at the time last year, was driven by Gary Wiltrout. Now driven by Bobby Henry, he sees the white flag and could make it victories on consecutive weeks. On the back straightaway for the final time with 2 lap cars between himself and second place Rick Miller, headed for victory. 2nd week in a row, 2nd win of 2005. Connellsville's Bobby Henry will move to victory lane. Rick Miller with a 2nd place finish. Brandon Mans with his career night in the late model division. A 3rd place finish for the young driver. Gary Wiltrout hangs on to 4th. John Messenger completes the top 5.
Advance Auto Parts, no matter when or where. Advance Auto Parts, whatever's waiting there. Around these parts, trouble doesn't stand a chance. For the best parts, people and prices, we're ready in advance. Bring it on. For the best parts, people and prices, we're ready in advance.
Green flag is waving, 4 wide on the front straight, now down to 3 wide. That's much safer. '51 car of Kevin Ludwig in the middle of a 3-car sandwich at the back of the field. 3 wide in the center, as well as Bill Oldham out to the early lead in car 5. 67 of Chuck Hall side by side with the 34 of Minjock. Lap number 1 of 8, the Advance Auto Parts American Flyer Division. Bill Oldham has some pressure coming. The lime green or yellow number 5 of Bill Oldham has the Mopar. Chuck Hall, 67, down to the bottom. And Ed Deneen, who's been super fast all season, could be 3 wide again on the front straight. Oldham tries to close the door on Larry Vance. He can't get it done and loses the 3rd spot to the 28. Deneen breaks the back end loose in turns 1 and 2. That's tough to do in a front-wheel drive car, but he's going to take to the outside over Hall. Hall is off the pace. Deneen and Vance and Oldham all clear the 67 machine. Chuck Hall was close to a feature victory last week and loses 2 positions in a single lap. We are working lap number 3 of the 8-lap American Flyer Division. Sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. The best parts, the best people, the best price. They are ready in advance. And Ed Deneen and Larry Vance, the two heat race winners from earlier tonight, showed their strength in preliminary action. And with the 2 lap to go signal, they are pulling away from the rest of the field. An amazing recovery for Chuck Hall in the 67 car. Hall looked like he was about to lose third when that car seemed to drop power on the back straight. Deneen and Vance both got by, but he's recovered to hang on to third spot. Oldham, the early leader, is back to fourth, and Richie Miller up from the rear of the field on lap number 5. He's up to the 5th position. On lap 6 of 8, Ed Deneen, a feature winner on night number 2. He has 3 heat race wins to his credit. Larry Vance directly behind him, another 2-time heat race winner, has yet to find victory lane in 2005. The tires squealed, the brake lights glow. It's the Advance Auto Parts American Flyer Division entry-level racing. For rules or information on entering this division, visit our website at motordrome.com. White flag in the air, it's the final corner. Second time in 2005. The victory for the Advance Auto Parts American Flyers goes to Ed Deneen in the 16. Larry Vance is second. Chuck Hall third. Nearly a dead heat for fourth, but I believe it was the 5 of Oldham over Richie Miller in 5th. Already on the front straight. Jeff Giles, the past 2 weeks, has dominated the Charger division like we have never seen. He won by almost a full lap in our second week of racing action, and last week came back charging through the field to take the lead late in the event and go on to victory again. Tracy Keller, the opening night feature winner in that brand new car out in front. '95 of Jim Stokes is challenging Keller, the points leader. Scott Margie in third. Then Mike Lemley in Keller's old car in fourth. 3 wide with last week's winner Giles. Denny Keller in 51 of Broadwater. 3 wide at the scoring stripe on lap 2. Margie into the outside wall. Third place car makes hard contact with the outside concrete. Jeff Giles dives underneath, as does Denny Keller. Tough break for the 65 car. Tough ride for the 65 as he really got into the back straight wall hard. How about this battle for the lead? And the leader has made contact. Brand new race car nearly gets hit by his old car. Tracy Keller spins in front of the field after contact from the 95 machine. Green flag is out. Lap number 4 now completed of 15 laps for the Yellow Book Chargers. Jim Stokes, the Monte Carlo number 95, poised for a first victory. Tracy Keller's old machine, Now in the hands of Mike Lemley. It looks like one. We're calling it 4. He's hanging on to second, but look who's right behind him. The driver who started dead last in this field after 2 consecutive feature victories, the driver of car number 50 is Jeff Giles. Giles from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, 2-time feature winner. He started scratch. He's in third and challenging for second. And that car riding in second is the only one that's defeated him all season. At the time, it had behind the wheel Tracy Keller. And ever since that opening night feature win, the heat races and the features have been all Jeff Giles in the U Pullet number 50. Gary Ankrum retires to the pits on lap number 6. Tough break for the driver who could not get that car to fire on the racetrack all week last Friday. Giles has completed the pass for second. Lemley is back to third, and just as quickly Giles closes on the leader. A pair of Monte Carlos ready to battle for the lead. Jim Stokes of West Newton, Jeff Giles of Vanderbilt. In the current point standings, Tracy Keller is leading. Rick Broadwater is second. Jeff Giles is all the way in fourth in the standings. But as he nearly completes his lead pass of Stokes, he could gain ground again tonight. On lap 9, the new leader is Jeff Giles. You see the black panels mounted to the front of that Monte Carlo? Last week in the heat race, he crashed the 50 car in what looked like a hard and grinding crash. The body damage was repaired, and last week he found victory lane after that heat race mishap. There are 5 laps to go. Giles out in front for a 3rd week in a row. Yellow Book Charger Division, historically one of the most competitive classes with the most different winners, lead changes, and passing all through the field. So far in 2005, Jeff Giles has dominated the division like we have never seen. In 3 years of trying, he got his first feature win on night number 2 here at MOTORDROME Speedway. That win was as convincing as a victory can be, and he followed that up with another win last week. He sees the signal of 2 laps to go now and could make it 3 in a row. Jim Stokes is in 2nd place, but fading after coming home last season in 9th in the final standings. He will have nothing to say about the victory. 3rd time in a row, the 3-year veteran from Vanderbilt, Pennsylvania, Jeff Giles with the white flag, and nothing between himself and another victory. He will not be challenged by a 2nd place competitor. He will not see any lap traffic. An easy final lap once again tonight for Jeff Giles in the Yellow Book Charger Division. Car number 50, showing the battle scars from last week's heat race incident, takes the checkered flag for 3 in a row. Jim Stokes coming home with a 2nd place finish, an excellent run, and Mike Lemley, his first time in the former Tracy Keller car, coming home in the 3rd position. The battle for 4th will be Denny Keller in the 13 over Tracy Keller.